Thank you very much. It is great to be here, and yes, it did make me nervous, Sheriff, when the president went off script, but frankly, not quite as nervous as I was when you were going off script. But I am so grateful for your friendship and certainly for the kind words. More importantly, I'm thankful for your service to our state and the incredible job that you do leading your team and the service and sacrifice that you and all of those who serve in law enforcement make every single day. So thank you. It is great to be at the 56th Association of Arkansas Counties Convention. Chris and I also met during the time that I was the campaign manager for now Senator John Bozeman and have stayed friends ever since. And you and your team do such a tremendous job organizing this event and helping bring so many people together around the state. And we are grateful that you continue to stay in this role and continue to help serve so many Arkansas communities. So thank you, Chris, for your work. I want to, before I get started, give my deepest thanks to Sheriff Knadel. His quick actions and his personal heroism were literally the difference between life and death for so many people in Fordyce earlier this summer. That tragedy was one of the worst days our state has had, and certainly one of my worst as governor. I cannot imagine the grief that you and the entire Fordyce community are still dealing with daily. But each one of us in our state and as Arkansans can take refuge in the words that you spoke pretty soon after the shooting. This will not define us, and this will certainly not divide us. That's true not just for Fordyce, it's true for all of Arkansas. We are so thankful for your service. We are thankful for the person you are, and we are so glad that people like you are willing to take on the task and the job that you do each and every single day. And once again, we salute you and we thank you for helping protect not just your community, but communities across the state of Arkansas. Thank you, Sheriff. Sheriff Knadel represents so much of what makes Arkansas special, and he stands ahead above so many of those who serve in the state. But I look out in this crowd and I see a sea of dedicated public servants who day in and day out are heroes in their communities. You aren't always the politicians that end up on the nightly news, but frankly, I've spent quite a bit of time with a lot of those politicians, and I'd much rather be in this room with each of you. I remember back to my time during the Trump administration when I had the chance to travel with the president overseas. Certainly some very memorable and historic moments took place on a lot of those trips. One of the most high-stakes meetings that I had the opportunity of participating in was in Singapore when Donald Trump became the first U.S. president ever to sit down with the leader of North Korea. We walked into that room where Kim Jong-un sat at the other side of the table. He and his team had lined up on each side of him, and President Trump came in with his delegation next to him. In his group, you had experts on national security and Asian affairs, a 4-star Marine general, and me. It was very clear which one of us stuck out in that group. And as I said, tensions were high. Anytime you're talking about nuclear war, the stakes get pretty big pretty fast. I thought I would lighten the mood and ease the tension as we walked into this room. And so I turned to the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, who had become a good friend. I said, "Hey, Mike," I said, "am I the only person here who hasn't either killed someone or hasn't ordered someone to be killed?" He looked at me. He looked at the rest of the room. He said, "Yes, Sarah, you're the only one." I told him, I said, I saw that going very differently. Unfortunately, the rest of the day went very well. But in all seriousness, the work that you do has a big impact on the lives of everyday Arkansans. often a much bigger impact than those who are serving and working in Washington. We hear a lot about election integrity in the news, but who actually secures our elections? It's our county clerks. We all want to live in safe neighborhoods, and who patrols our streets? It's our county sheriffs. We all want good roads, accurate taxation, and balanced local spending. Who actually makes that happen? It's our county judges, our treasurers, our assessors, and our collectors. You are where the rubber literally meets the road in government. Not just elected officials, but you're the neighbors, the church members, the friends, and the family of your fellow constituents. I'm here today because we want to be and continue to be great partners and actually help make your jobs easier, not harder. Law and order was a top priority of mine when I became governor and took office, and we've taken big steps to improve the backlog in our local jails, but we aren't finished. It's not fair for local government to shoulder the burden of long-term incarceration. And frankly, it is not safe to keep violent criminals in our county jails. And it is not just to release repeat offenders simply for lack of bed space, and we will not continue to do it in Arkansas. I prioritized building a new 3,000-bed state prison when I took this office, the first major investment in our prison system since my dad was governor nearly 2 decades ago. We've kicked this can down the road for long enough, and we will be the team that fixes and addresses this problem. But that's not the only thing we're working on. I know that tax relief will spur economic development in all of your communities. In my first year and a half in office, we've cut personal income taxes 3 different times. Of the southern states that levy an income tax, Arkansas now has the lowest of any of them. At the same time, I know that you rely on stability in property taxes, and we've kept those rates constant while also giving homeowners relief through an expanded homestead tax credit. And I see some of the legislators who are at the front of the room who helped lead that effort. Thank you guys. In addition, one of our biggest priorities has been economic development. And we're not just focusing on big cities and population centers. We're prioritizing growth in Arkansas communities, both big and small. I just got back a couple weeks ago from a trade mission to Europe, where I had the chance to announce that Russellville will see Tabor Extrusion's $60 million expansion, another great win for the state of Arkansas. Industries from all over the world are finding out what small-town Arkansas has to offer. Aerospace and defense in Camden, steel in Mississippi County, tourism in the Ozarks, and lithium all across South Arkansas. Arkansas now has more jobs today than we have ever had in the history of our state. Those wins are a result of our collaboration because of our local leaders. And I'm committed to continuing that partnership for the next 6.5 years so that together we build a safer, a stronger, and a better Arkansas. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for the great work that you do in each of your communities. And thank you to this incredible organization for bringing us together and making sure that continued partnership allows Arkansas to keep growing. We're so thankful for the work you do and for all that you are doing to represent our great state. Thank you all so much and have a great day.